runners. This is actually a demo of some of the stuff that we did in our runners workshop, and I know you guys got the big race this Sunday, so I'm super excited. I know it's supposed to rain, but we're hoping for it to pull away so it doesn't rain on you guys on Sunday. I'm going to start off with the simple stretch that we did with our strap. Remember, you can have a strap or you can actually use a belt. And so I've made the loop for my length. Each one of you guys will be, of course, different. And so just reclining on your back, you're looking for occipital ridge. That's where you're going to place, not on the neck, just on the occipital ridge. And then you're going to take one foot in. You're going to balance between the head and the foot and then work on extending. Don't necessarily worry about straightening the leg. Otherwise, go ahead. So meaning if your hamstrings are too tight, don't worry about straightening the leg. So work at your potential. Other leg can be bent or straight, up to you. If it is straight, really extend out through the heel and root this femur down as you extend up through your other heel. Hold it for anywhere about a minute to 3, and then switch legs. So, that is one of our stretches that we did. To warm the body for the practice itself, if you want to look at Surya Namaskara A, other video that's on here to warm the body before you even practice. So, other stretch that we did. We used blocks, some of you guys did not use blocks, and we did lunges. And so, I've got my blocks, I've got my blanket. And so, transitioning where we have our blanket, and this is just a little extra cushion for your knee. Look for not being on direct line of the patella of the kneecap. You want to shift forward so that the weight starts to distribute to the front. So if you need to, wiggle the back leg that you're going to place on the blanket down. And so now allow the hips to move in upon it. We talked about the grounding energy, and then the support with the blocks to stand with the hands. And so that now you get the really good freedom of allowing the hips to relax. You're getting to the front hip flexor of the leg that's back here, but you're also getting the mobility of the front leg and that front hip. And so you're going to keep your chest up, spine extended, hips relaxing. Watch for any discomfort in your lumbar spine. Remember, we talked about scooping forward into cat tilt. You want to bring the pubis bone forward and lift up through the lower belly, and so that you're not curving too much into that lower back. So, doing both legs, you want to hold the same thing about 1 to 3 minutes. And then we're going to go into our next movement. So we're looking for pigeon prep. And so, hip opening. So you're going to come forward, use your blanket underneath the hip that you're working on. So right now I'm going to move our right hip. And so I don't want the knee directly in front of me. I want it to the outside of my rib cage. So I'm going to lift my hips and move that knee over to the right. If you're wanting to know what that looks like, you could take your right arm bent. And if you look, your right knee is to the outside of that arm. And so you're checking out, left leg is straight back, hip, knee, heel, and top of the foot in line. So get your hips square. Right now I'm angled off to the top front left corner of my mat. I'm going to use a lift, pull back, right hip, left hip comes forward. And then for some of us who are only able to get to the block, others were able to go down all the way to the forearms. And then other option was here. Work at your own pace with that one as well. You want to hold for about, again, 1 to 3 minutes each leg. Last but not least, getting those adductors. So, again, we talked about if your knees were really high. So if I was sitting just on my bottom with no support, no blanket, my knees might be really up here. So elevate yourself enough where your knees begin to come all the way down. Shoulders back, heart open, letting this free itself. Again, 1 to 3 minutes. Comfortable seated position. Some of you guys really like the shoulder stuff that we did. You can use that same strap or belt. We worked in this place here and opening back. For me, this needs to be widened, so I'll widen it here. You're going here, rotating both, not one at a time, both together, and coming back through. We use this with our inhale to come up and exhale back, inhale up, exhale back to the front. And then we also used it just to come into the really fullest stretch, and then we did some side motion with that. So we got our side waist lengthened. So these are great to do pre-race and post. So you guys have fun, stay injury-free, and I wish you the best. Thanks.